How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And we're going with a little bit of a twist today on your whole pumpkin theme. It is the middle of September in northeastern Pennsylvania. Well, actually, it's the middle of September everywhere. You know, this is pretty much getting into wheelhouse pumpkin time. And today, we're going to be reviewing Boulevard Brewing's Funky Pumpkin. Never had this before. Got a 6-pack of beers sent to me by Boulevard, basically doubles of 3 beers. It was their Telltale Tart, which is a slight sour ale. Love that one. Their Oktoberfest Spot on Marzen. And here we're moving on to the last of those pairs. It's a Funky Pumpkin Spice Sour Ale. As far as what it says in the bottle, this isn't your typical take on a pumpkin beer. Hints of cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg, and ginger meet with a touch of tartness, mellowed by barrel aging. So we talk about a 5.8% ale, slightly tart ale that's barrel aged. Come on now, that's pretty cool. We then brought the funk with Brettanomyces for a complex out-of-sight beer. Okay, a low ABV ale, barrel aged, soured, and with Brett. So there you go. I don't know if the Brett is actually bringing the funk or what, but somebody's bringing the funk besides George Funkadelic, something or the other. George Clinton P. Funkadelic. Say it correctly next time. I'm an asshole. Anyway, Best Buy, 1/11/16. So you assume there's 6 months on this sucker. The Best Buy, so it's only about a month and a half, 2 months old. Boulevard Brewing Funky Pumpkin Spice Sour Ale. That's pretty much it. 5.8% alcohol by volume. Water, barley, hops, yeast, pumpkin, and natural flavors. That's it. Label-wise, it's cool. It's actually pretty cheesy. It's got this kind of like semi-70s vibe going on with like pumpkin and a star and a disco ball and the whole nine because it's funky. So yeah, let's see what this soured pumpkin ale brewed with Brett. Test off. See if it's going to be super funky, if it's going to be like a super drying Brett, see if it's going to be more of that kind of earthy funkiness, depending on what strain you're using, when it was actually pitched, or whatever you want to call it. And there you go. 2.5 fingers, creamier than creamy head, pretty compact bubbles all around, and color-wise, pretty light. You know, lighter than your atypical pumpkin ale, more in your just general lagerish kind of Marzen region. It's actually a little bit lighter than their Marzen, which I just reviewed. But it does have like a little bit of haze to it. You can see like a little bit of a frost haze on the outside for it being cold, but there is this kind of hazy funkiness to it too. So let's see what this sucker has on the nose. Oh yeah, you get a slight tartness in there. You're definitely getting some pumpkin in there. I dare to say actual pumpkin, kind of pumpkin, as opposed to just spice over the top. A non-descriptive kind of bready character. I'm not really going to throw out there any kind of atypical genera descriptors. Just you can tell there's a bit of funkiness going on. Besides, it's like it smells like it's soured and then brewed with bread. It's not soured from the bread. Yeah, it actually smells pretty freaking cool. So yeah, I mean, she doesn't look like a pumpkin ale, really. She doesn't smell like a pumpkin ale, except for a little bit of pumpkin. Those aren't bad things, as long as it tastes good, and I think it will. Cheers. Well, I'll tell you what. If you watch any of my reviews, you'll know I'm not a big sour guy. This is more tart than sour. It's actually kind of on the line there. But this works. And I'm very hard to please when it comes to my sours, but this works for me. Their Telltale Heart, which is a slightly tart sour ale, really worked for me. And this, honestly, brings a whole new twist to pumpkin ales. With that Brett and that sourness going on. I dig it. I do. You immediately get that tartness right when it gets in your mouth. And when you start to kind of move it from front to back to swallow, you do get a bit of that pumpkin, a bit of that pumpkin spice, a little bit of cinnamon in there maybe, but you also get that kind of bready funkiness, not bready, Brett-y funkiness. That's separate from the sour itself. It's kind of just earthy, a little bit of dirty. I don't want to go like, hey, what hey kind of deal. It's a nice earthy funkiness. And it's got this nice little dryness on the finish that's definitely the Brett work in there. That sour kind of lingers, but it's not in your face. It's not acidic So a little bit of acidity to it, but it's very mild. It's more just, like I said, more tart and sour, but kind of on that line there. A sour that you can drink a few of. There you drink a 4 or 6, whatever that comes in. I think you'll be fine. You're not going to get gut rot from this. Yeah, it's one of the more interesting pumpkin beers I've had as of late. You know, it's nice to get some pumpkin beers I'm into. Usually the ones I'm into are like twists on pumpkin ales. Your base pumpkin ales, you know, they are what they are. Start to get in your imperial pumpkin, start to push them maybe into pumpkin barley wines. With your pumpkin sours, you know, not too shabby. This one's nice. Have the almanac one, that's absolutely fantastic, even though I'm not a big sour person, but yeah, this is right up there. Probably one of my favorite pumpkin beers. Not just sour pumpkin beers or non-imperial, just pumpkin beers. It's kind of cool, and I dig it. Rating one of these, I'm going to give it an 86. 86 overall. I should probably give it a little bit higher score. I don't know why. Again, no number just pops in my head. I'm not going to sit here and overanalyze it. Just let my brain do the thinking there. So 86 overall, value and availability. I'm going to gloss over that whole thing because we're not getting Boulevard yet in our area, but it's creeping. It's going to be here pretty soon, which is I'm pretty excited that they're sending this off to me. That way I can kind of promote them a little bit, because I think they're a brewery that deserves a little bit of pub. And gloss over the whole value and availability thing and just say, you know, 86 overall. And if you like what, you like this. If you like pumpkin ales, but you're also a fan of sours, you like this. If you want a sessionable sour that is a little bit different than your atypical sour, and when I say sour, keep in mind we're talking more tart leaning than sour. It's not going to rip your enamel off your teeth or anything. You'd definitely be into this. Or if you're trying to get into sour beers, this would be a nice little, like, dip your toe in the water kind of beer to, like, okay, there's some familiar flavors there with that pumpkin beer, that pumpkin spice with a little bit, even if you're in the bready kind of beers that aren't sour, it's kind of bridging a little bit of the gap for you. So that's cool in itself, too. So yeah, there you go. 86 overall, value and availability, skipping over that and just saying it's pretty damn good beer. So there you go. Another review on the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, and all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice pumpkin sour beer right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.